Hi everybody, I hope you're having a great day. In this video, I'm going to be covering Isca the Unbeaten. She made her first appearance in X-Men Volume 5, issue number 12, that was released in September of 2020. She's an ancient Omega-level mutant from the mutant island of Okkara, and has familial ties with the leadership, being the sister of Genesis, which makes her the sister-in-law of Apocalypse, as well as the aunt to the first 4 children, or Horsemen of Apocalypse. Isca stands approximately 5 feet 7 inches tall and should weigh around 145 pounds, originally having orange eyes, deep red hair, and deep reddish-brown skin, although she currently has gold hair and gold skin. For a period, she also had rune-like hieroglyphs all over her body. Now, these physical changes are somewhat due to her limited shape-shifting, which allows her body to slightly change in order for her to fit in better with her surroundings. Whether she's with magic-wielding villains, techno-savvy heroes, or just a random rogue team, she'll always look the part. Now, this hints at her primary mutation, which is her inability to lose, period. So just think of a more OP Domino or Squirrel Girl. Isca cannot lose in one-on-one or team contests, battles, votes, and wagers, with her mutation sometimes giving her the skill or ability she may need to win in any circumstance, or just happening to win due to improbable circumstances. And on occasion, in large battles or conflicts, her power will actually compel her to leave the losing team and join the winning side, no matter who it may be, which understandably leads to her not being trusted that much. But she just can't help it because that's her power, and she feels no remorse for this, at times having a somewhat cold or arrogant personality, which in itself is understandable due to her having advanced longevity and being thousands of years old while never being beaten in anything. Matter of fact, her winning mutation is so strong that she's actually immune to power negation, meaning that there's no means in which her power can be turned off. And due to all of this, she tends to not vote in any large group setting because her selection will sway the outcome of any wager. However, no matter how OP Isca's power seems to be, she actually has admitted that it does not give her immunity from death, with there being the slim chance that her mutation can cause her to win no matter the cost, even if it means winning in death. Also, we do have at least one occasion where her power was actually tricked, with the mutant Sunspot using an elaborate plan to trick her into betting for something that would turn out in his favor, but was undesirable to her. Now, like I stated earlier, long ago when Okkara was still one island, Isca was one of the many thousands of mutants who resided there. She was credited with creating the powerful 4-part Scarab sword that was given to her brother-in-law Apocalypse to celebrate the birth of her sister's 4 children, the First Horsemen. Things went well for thousands of years, but when the mutants of Okkara went to war against the invading Amenth demons, Isca's mutation would eventually make her betray her kind and join Annihilation's army, despite this meaning that she would turn against even her own family. After this battle causing the split of Okkara into 2 islands, being Arakko and Krakoa, Isca and most of the other mutants, besides Apocalypse, would be trapped in the Amenth dimension, Isca being the only mutant to willingly dwell among Annihilation's army. After a millennia, she would be sent to speak to her sister Genesis about coming to meet with Annihilation, with this so-called peaceful talk actually ending with Genesis defeating Annihilation, and ultimately taking on the Golden Helm and being controlled by the Annihilation entity to march against Arakko, Otherworld, and even Krakoa. These events would lead to the powerful reality warper Saturnine arranging for a 10 of Swords tournament, in which Swordbearers of Arakko and Swordbearers of Krakoa would be chosen. Of course, Isca would be selected to be a part of the Annihilation-led Arakko Swordbearers. And after a brief introductory banquet, Isca was set to fight against Captain Britain. Of course, she won that initial battle, as well as the subsequent battles that she had. But when circumstances led to an all-out war breaking out, and the reformed X-Men, Captain Britain Corps, and the Viscor joined forces against the Amenth, Isca's mutation would then compel her to defect back to Krakoa's side. And it's no surprise that the forces of Krakoa and the other mutants would win. However, everything wouldn't be smooth sailing after the tournament, because although Isca would have a seat on the Great Ring of Arakko, which was the governing body of the Arakko mutants, she would quickly be at odds with Magneto and Professor X when discussing how the new mutant nations would be run. She thought that the earthly mutants were soft, and that the Arakko were more fit due to them being true warriors after thousands of years of conflict, therefore making their ways superior. Despite this difference of philosophy, the nations would maintain a reasonable relationship, with Isca even providing 3 Omega-level mutants to help Magneto terraform Mars as a new home for Arakko, which they eventually would move to. But after they arrived, Isca's haughty personality would often cause her to have problems with the new leader of Arakko, which was Storm. Yet Isca wouldn't be pushed past her limit until Magneto challenged Tarn the Uncaring for his seat in the Great Ring. This is when Magneto's former student, Sunspot, would trick Isca into wagering against her friend Tarn. And since her mutation never allows her to lose, her beloved Tarn would be doomed to a horrible death at the hands of Magneto. And in turn, this would lead to her taking the life of Sunspot. Now, for her powers and abilities, and her influence on the Marvel Universe, for my 1 to 10 rating, I'll give Isca the Unbeaten a rating of 8, which is an unforgettable rating. I hope everyone enjoyed this video. I'll talk to you next time. Be sure to like, subscribe, and join the new Sage.